I was sitting at my desk at work crying, or the introspection of society needs to happen as to why disability is looked at as such an undesirable way to be human.
She literally walked into somebody's child.
I might catch some hate for this.
It's a fine line, isn't it?
It's a fine line.
Where are we going?
Hold on.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Live Out Loud. This is a space where we celebrate authenticity, visibility, and the power of owning your own story. Each episode, I sit down with incredible guests who are showing what it truly means to live out loud, unapologetically and in their own terms. But before we do that, by the way, my name is Sylvia and I'm blind and I'm living my best life. Taking you guys along with me, I share my life as it is, and now I've taken on bringing on some amazing people that we can chat and learn a bit more about and just explore the world through their perspective. We'll be shining a light on representation, creativity, and what it really means to see the world differently. So yeah, let's get into it.
Recording in progress.
I've got an amazing person here. Not the first time we've spoken, but I guess it's the first time we've spoken in real life. Is this real life? I don't know.
Yes. I think yes, to me. I think.
I love that. I totally have the same exact feeling. This is real life. When you interact with somebody, it might be through a screen, but it's in real time. Oh, maybe it's that. Maybe.
Yes, real time.
But yeah, I've really been so excited to speak to you. Those people who don't know you, maybe you could introduce yourself and just a little bit about you and, whatever you'd like to share about yourself.
Sure thing. So, hello, Sylvia and everyone. I am Olivia Walter. I am I'm in my late 30s. Actually, just had a birthday yesterday. So, yay! Thank you. Thank you. Shoot, that's why I had this time available because I took off work. I'm like, I am celebrating all weekend.
I'm honored.
I am I have medium brown skin. I have my hair in two braids right now, two French braids. And unlike you, I did not put on makeup, ma'am. I was just like, I'm just out here with my bare face. So yes, and I'm wearing I'll say dark blue shirt, a sweater. Yeah, I live in Ohio in the US. And I know that you and I remember reaching out to you because I'd done a live stream and oh my gosh, it was wild. And so I've been watching you for so long and I was like, I'm going to reach out to her. She doesn't know me from Adam's House Cat, but I'm still going to reach out and tell her that this, like, going live as a blind person is it's not the most simplest thing you can do. And that because you do it all the time, I was like, I really need to reach out to this woman and just tell her, like, express rather, just like how impressed I am, especially after having a personal experience. So I did. And I think that's like when we really started talking back and forth. So
Yeah. And like, I love your turn of phrases. I don't know, you said something else in the email, like, you don't know me from, I don't know what it was. I'm going to have to find it. Literally, I'll find it and like drop it in here, that particular part of the phrasing. But it is quite hectic. I agree. I was going to say I try and make it look easy, but I don't know how easy it looks or feels, but
very easy. You make it look so effortless.
I'm struggling inside.
Like they say, be like a duck. You're like paddling like crazy underwater, and on top you're just cool, calm, and collected.
Yes, it's exactly that. Like, you go crazy underneath, like trying to stay afloat.
Oh my goodness.
But thank you so much for joining me, Olivia. You're absolutely amazing. And I got to find out a little bit more about you. And obviously, we've had a couple conversations whilst on these live streams as well. So, yeah, I appreciate people like you being in our little, corner of the interwebs, I'm always saying.
Yes, thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's such an honor to be here and I love what you've done. I love what you're doing. Just showcasing how blind people can just do honestly whatever they want. And I love to see it. I don't think did I tell you this? How I first came across your YouTube channel was I'm also visually impaired. And I go through these phases and I'll be like, I'm going to learn to do my makeup. And then I'll be like, nah, never mind, I don't care. And so I was going through one of those, I'm going to learn to do my makeup as a blind woman. And I was scouring the YouTube and I came across one of your videos. And the thing that got me, it was a short that you did. And you said something to the effect of, blind girl affirmation of the day, you are worth the effort. And I'm not going to lie, Sylvia, girl, I was sitting at my desk at work crying because I was like, oh my God, that's it. I did not, for so long, I didn't think that me learning to do makeup mattered because I honestly, deep down, didn't feel like I was worth the effort. And to hear someone say that was just so transformative in that moment. And I was like, I have to follow this woman. Who is she?
Little old me. No, but I think a lot of the time I quite literally am just pouring my heart out and just hoping it reaches somebody or it connects with somebody. And I'm so glad that connected with you because that actually came straight from my heart, like straight from me thinking like, oh, what's the point? Like just exactly what you're saying. What's the point in doing all this? I won't even really be able to see it anyway. I'm probably going to make a big mistake and it's going to look ridiculous anyway.
Yes.
So after kind of talking myself about, hold on, Sylvia, you're worth the effort. Hold on. You can work hard on something for you and it matters just as much as you think X, Y, and Z matters before whatever it is you're thinking that your things, you know what I mean? I went round in a circle and that was a whole parable. Wow. But no, but that's really it. And I'm so glad that it connected with you. And I don't know, it's not necessarily just about makeup, hope maybe it inspired you in any other way, just anything in your life that you think, oh, what's the point? So hold on.
Yes.
I can and will do this for me.
For me, because I'm worth it. Yes, exactly. It did. It went beyond makeup, but it did make me stop and like really think, like, I think that's my problem. A thing that I've dealt with, because I've been visually impaired most of my life since toddlerhood. And I've gone through all the phases you can go through multiple times. And for a long time, I had this deep-seated inferiority complex because of my blindness. And it took lots of work. It's a journey. It's not a destination. So sometimes I still struggle. But it took a long time to get to the point where I was actually comfortable and, seeing myself as a whole person, even though I was blind. And so when I heard you say that, I realized like that spoke to something that I had been dealing with, beyond makeup for a very long time. And I think I had just started to awaken to that of like, yeah, no matter what, I am still worth the effort, even as a blind person, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think you are the epitome of basically living out loud. And you really embody this whole just doing something for you because you're worth it. Wait, hold on. I feel like there's a brand that has that because you're worth it. Which one is that?
Is that L'Oreal? I think it's L'Oreal. It never meant anything to me when they said it. I'm like, you're not talking to me. Right now, I'm like, now that Sylvia said it, I'm like, oh no. No.
Okay, hello, brand L'Oreal. Hey, we're over here.
Come see
Your
us.
ambassadors, Olivia and Sylvia. Hey, and our names rhyme. No, but
Oh my gosh.
I was just basically saying I even lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, you embody you embody that whole just kind of being brave and doing something for you and just what's the word, like sticking to what you believe in everything as well. So as much as
Mm,
you're saying there's the internal sort of I guess battle with yourself in a way, which is normal. Like everybody obviously has that,
mm-hmm.
and I guess society as it is, it's not necessarily, you know,
Girl. So
it's not
true.
built for us. But but
So
you know,
true.
kind of powering through that
Mhm.
and finding your feet anyway, and you know, literally trailblazing, finding your path where there isn't one, and sometimes quite literally you can't even see the path as it is. Taking that leap of faith. Can I think of any more catchphrases? You're good at that. But we'll talk about that a little bit later, a little bit further down the conversation. But I know you know what I'm alluding to. You're doing something amazing and super brave, and I don't know if I would be able to do it. But you know, I'm so excited to like follow your journey as you do this. Okay, so I did have some icebreakers, but literally, I think the makeup conversation did it. If I'm honest. The makeup
We can still
talk.
do them.
All right, so here they are. Ooh, this is good, and it's actually very, very okay. If you could wake up anywhere in the world tomorrow, no logistics, no limits, where would it be?
Portugal.
Points to
Oh
be
man.
continued.
Yes.
And then another one is what's one song or sound that instantly lifts your spirit, that just makes you happy, makes you smile inside and outside?
Um, what's one? You said what's one sound or what was the
Song
other
or
thing?
sound. Some, you know, it could be sound like, oh, the birds are tweeting outside. How beautiful is that? You know, or it could be a
Okay, okay,
song.
okay. I guess the first thing that comes to mind is like running water, like nature and
Oh,
running water.
yeah.
I don't know why. It's just so peaceful, and it just puts me in a like a really like meditative state, which I suck at meditation. But if you turn on like a babbling brook sound, oh, I am yes. And I love it. I love the way it makes me feel. I feel can't swim to save my life, but I love water. so so yeah, I guess it would be that.
Okay, yeah, I can't swim either, but really love the water.
Okay.
14:30. So we have
Okay.
about 30 minutes.
Okay.
We might need another conversation.
We just might.
Because it was White Cane Awareness Day the other day.
Hmm.
Don't know, what do your memories with your cane or your guide dog, but we'll say your cane really because you moved on to using a cane, right? At the moment.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, what does it represent to you, like the memories you have?
Well, it's been interesting. I was thinking about this, and I think, can I take you on a story time?
Of
Um,
course. I love those.
so when I was in elementary school, I was taught to use a cane, but I do have some residual vision, but not enough to be safe walking around with no like blindness apparatus, like a
Yeah.
cane or a guide dog. So I also am I have six siblings. I'm the middle child and I'm the only one with a disability, like only one who's blind. So I did a lot of just like, I guess not really being, I tried to be as sighted as possible, which just made me a very inefficient sighted person. so,
I can relate
and
to that.
And so, um, when I really realized, okay, I can't keep doing this. I need to start using my cane. I was about 14 years old, 13, 14. And okay, I've grown up. But at the time, I was in high school, it was my freshman year of high school. And there was this really, really cute boy. And he was an exchange student from Ecuador. And his name was Kiki. And he he was in my English class, and I was at the time so I don't know what it's called in other countries, but here in the US, if you are blind and then you just go to regular school, we call that being mainstreamed. And so at that time, I was mainstreamed in a regular public school. So, you know, I was in class with this kid, and I just thought he was just so cute. Oh my gosh. So, and he would talk to me all the time, and I would just be like, hi guys, you know how boy crazy little girls can be. So, it was like the first 2 weeks of school, and I was out with my mom. We were finishing up school shopping, and we were in the store, and I was following her as I normally did, and I did not see there was this giant pole in the middle of the store, and I'm just walking in La La Land, and I ran face first into it, cut my eye, cut my nose, blood was everywhere. And my mom was upset. And all I could think about was, oh my God, I can't go to school looking like this. Kiki's going to think I'm a monster. And I was like, I have to. And my mom was like, she said, you're going to start using your cane, blah, blah, blah. Because that's not the first pole I've hit. So, but it was one of the last, because I was like, no, I'm not going to keep doing this. So that was when I decided, no, I really do need to start using my cane. So that's not to say, but that was motivation I guess I needed at that time and at that stage of my life. Yeah. And I've been using one faithfully ever since.
When I was looking at maybe getting a guide dog, or just the next step I needed to take in terms of mobility, I was referred to, how they have this sort of, I don't know if they do it over there, but they have this buddy system in a way. So I was referred to somebody who was further along their mobility journey, obviously someone who's really comfortable. It's like a big sister, big brother, you know what I mean? So what she told me was that literally it took for her I don't know where she was walking, but she literally walked into somebody's child. And that has lived in my head rent free, like a toddler walked into, I mean, she kicked.
Yes.
That's that. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Why do we do this to us?
Why?
But yeah, that was all the convincing I needed. I was like, okay, I hear you. I hear you, ma'am. I hear you, madam. I hear you. I am going to use my cane or whatever it is I need right now. And that has been a concern for me since then. I don't know why. She kind of put it in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm always walking in the school. There's always these little toddlers that are just, they don't know any better. No. Walking behind the parent in front, all the way over there, so-and-so, come back over here, kind of thing. So, I have to walk slowly and so on and so forth. So for the good of all of us, for me to not feel bad, it's not even about being embarrassed at this point. It's about not having the guilt living in my heart,
Girl, I feel it. I have taken out a child before, and it is not a good feeling. They didn't get hurt, but they fell right on their butt. And I was like, oh, okay. Yep. Nope. Not. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. So
it's a thing, and they don't know any better. That's the hardest part about it.
They don't really.
They don't know any better. You can't see them, so it's two-way thing.
Right.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people have a similar thing. We literally wait until something, I don't know, a wake-up call of sorts happens. It's oh my gosh. Okay, this is real.
Things have to change.
Right, exactly. I'd like to know what you think, what living out loud means to you.
For me, I think living out loud means that you do not make an apology for your existence. You show up in all of your glory, no matter how it might look or make other people feel. And of course, not in a way that's going to be like, stepping on other people's toes. Or when I say stepping on their toes, I mean like making people deliberately feel uncomfortable. Like, not that, but like not shrinking yourself to make others feel comfortable, if that makes any sense. It's knowing that you belong where you want to be and not allowing even you to tell yourself that you don't deserve happiness, you don't deserve love, you don't deserve success. To me, that's what living out loud means.
How would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Oof. Stubborn. Adaptable, and I would say I'm a dreamer. That doesn't always work out well for me, but it's true.
I mean, to do what you're planning on doing, I think you would have to be a dreamer and start all of the above. All of the above.
You have a point.
What's a defining moment in your journey that shaped who you are today?
I don't know of one specific moment per se. I think I'm going to give one of those like pageant answers.
Okay, let's go. I love those too.
I do feel that sometimes you don't recognize the decisions, even the small decisions that you make, that ends up putting you on a path that you need to be on, until you've walked down that path for quite some time. And you're like, oh, had I not done this instead of that, and then did that instead of this, I wouldn't be here. So I can't think of like one big decision, but I can say that, as I said before, my stubbornness was just like, I'm going to do, my stubbornness mixed with my dreamer personality has given me the ability to do things that I didn't think was possible. And it doesn't allow me to give up when I know that there is a solution. I do know, as I've grown, I have learned when to walk away from things.
Yeah.
But when things keep coming back, when dreams or desires keep coming back to you at different points of your life, maybe that's something I've learned, that's maybe something I should really pay attention to. Yeah. And like, I know we'll talk about it probably in our next time, but like, that for me, the biggest thing is probably, wanting to move out of the US and move to a different country. That kept coming back to me at different stages of my life. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to start making this my reality, and stop having it just keep recurring to me at different points of my life.
Like, how do you think your vision impairment has shaped your outlook on life? Like, I think that's the best way to phrase it. Yeah.
Girl. Oh, I know we don't have much time, so I'll try to condense it. I have gone on a journey with my visual impairment. At first, I thought of it as the enemy. And now I think of it as just a part of me that I am accepting of. I don't think I would be the person that I am if I wasn't visually impaired, because I would not have gone through the things that I went through. And I would see the world literally and figuratively in a different light. I would not have had to, for example, be as creative with trying to live life, because as you said it earlier, this society, no matter where you are, it's just not set up for blind people. Not really. We are an afterthought at best. So you have to be creative. You have to be stubborn. You have to be enterprising, really, to make a life that you like, let alone one that you love. So I think if I had not been visually impaired, I would have missed out on what I now see as an opportunity to live in a way that makes me probably more empathetic. And it expands my view of what humanity looks like. And when I say that, I think a lot of people spend a lot of their time trying to like eradicate disability and all these other things. I feel that I say all the time that having a disability is just another valid part of the human experience. And I don't think I'd have come to that had I been sighted, able-bodied, hearing, and neurotypical.
Yeah. As much as, we go through our journey with our disabilities and everything, when we first sort of start going down that journey, there's that sort of sense of not really knowing how to deal with it, because it's something that's all seen as a problem, to fix, like you just said. And coming to terms with, you are you, no matter what. I'm still me. I'm still gonna be able to do X, Y, and Z. I just need to make certain adaptations, and it doesn't need to be a big deal. I'm not anybody's. It's not like a big problem to solve, if you see what I mean. Like, it should just be very casual, very normal part of everyday life. All the things that I need to do are things that I need to be done a little bit differently. So
keep it right here for more Live Out Loud.
Olivia, honestly, thank you for bearing with me. It was a hectic evening. Like, I'll just say it for the benefit. We just talked, off the record, but I'm just going to say it for the benefit of anyone tuning in. This is day 2, not the next day, but what is it? A week later.
Exactly.
Yeah. And just before we started, I was trying to do my eye drops, and one of them fell down, and I had to look for them for a good 10 minutes. Meanwhile, Olivia's just, I was going to say waiting patiently, but also I think he had a couple tech issues, but it's fine.
No, I was in the wrong Zoom meeting, and I'm like, la, 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 la. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. This is part 3. Oh, no.
But you know what? We're here. It's fine. It's okay.
We made it. We have triumphed.
Woo! Well, let's not celebrate too early. Let's see how we go on today. But yeah, thank you so much anyway. And yeah, just super excited to get into the rest of our conversation.
Yes.
So yeah, our first port of call, maybe, I don't know, or continuation, I guess, is from your perspective, how do you think we can move conversations about blindness towards better understanding? And I'd say really for society altogether.
I might be alone in this. I might be alone in this. But I think that the demonization of disability and blindness in particular. Okay, wait. We've talked enough to know that I do not talk in a straight line. So I'm sorry. Let me go back. When a couple of years ago, for my employer, I was asked to do a presentation on how to interact with a blind person. Why we needed that in the 2020s of anything, 20 anything. I think that was like 2017 or something, but still too recent for us to still be having these types of conversations. And I mean, I did it. And one of the during my research, I found out that the disability that people fear most, at least in the survey, was blindness. And I think that personally, and this is where I say I might lose a lot of people, I think that it is actually society's issue to fix, not ours. And that the only thing, like the questions that need, or the conversations that need to be had, have to come after some deconstructing of why people fear disability so much and why they see disability as kind of the worst thing that can happen to you, aside from, being unalive. I don't know if we could say the other word, so I don't want you to have to do too much editing. But
we'll stick with the safe words.
Yeah, we will. So because of that, I feel that conversations really, really need to start at a deeper level of like, why do people, and I think this needs to start as early as possible, because it's an ongoing, it's a taught thing, right? And I think like the questions need to be asked, or the introspection of society needs to happen as to why disability is looked at as such an undesirable way to be human. And I don't know that there's anything that those of us who already are disabled, blind, or whatever terminology best suits you, I don't know that we can convince people who are so sure that I don't know that we can convince them that no, we're fine, right? This is just another way to be human. This is just another way of living that's not less than, it's just different. I don't know that we who are already here can do that. I think it's something that society has to reckon with and come to grips with the fact that disability doesn't mean lesser than. So I don't actually know. That's a long way of saying I don't know what types of conversations need to be had or what questions need to be had too towards society. And I feel like I'm bungling your question. My brain right now is frantically trying to remember exactly what you said. I don't.
Hold on. I think I hear my kids. Hold on. Stay tuned as the conversation continues.
Okay, attempt number gazillion. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I just want to say it's like 11 p.m., past 11 p.m. over here. And this lovely young lady has agreed to speak to me after a long day at work. Come home to an appointment, and I have an appointment with Sylvia, a fun appointment, right?
Yes. This has been so enjoyable. It really has. So I'm having so much fun.
To be fair, every time we're meant to like start recording, we actually get carried away for a good 20 minutes or so. It's like, oh my gosh, we're meant to be doing something.
So true.
But yeah, so now we get to finally talk about what we've all been waiting for, okay? Your big plans, right?
Yeah.
So you're planning to move to relocate rather to Portugal, which again, really far away, halfway across the world, I think. My geography is not too good.
It's far. It's across the Atlantic at the very least.
Well, yeah, which is big. But yeah. So that's like a super, super bold move. What inspired you to do that?
Well, I've always, I might catch some hate for this. I've always wanted to live outside the US ever since I was a child. I just always felt like I was supposed to be somewhere else. And I have to say the obligatory, well, I'm grateful for all the privileges that I've had here. I've always felt called to be elsewhere. And I used to think it was Australia. It's not. But I think what pulled me to Australia for a very long time was like it was the furthest away from what I knew. And so I thought for a very long time, like, oh, it was a thing that I just I wanted to do, but I never knew anyone who was doing it. And as you know, I grew up visually impaired, right? I lost my sight when I was a toddler. So I never knew any blind people who lived abroad. And I definitely, well, I'll switch that. I never knew any Black people who lived abroad. Except the ones who had gone into the military, but they always came back. They talk about how amazing it was over in other countries, but they'd always come back. And I definitely didn't know any blind people who lived abroad ever. So I just thought, you know, and unfortunately in the US, it's not uncommon for people to have never left the country because we get all of that. Why would you? This is the US. Where are you going to go?
It's the land of the free and the home of the brave.
It's the best country ever, right? Well, they literally, yeah, there's a whole bunch of that. So a lot of people don't leave. And so it's like, okay. And so to have this calling inside of me to go was just like, it felt like something I would never, it just felt like another thing I'd probably just ignore in my life. And that was until 2019 when I took a look at my life and I was like, I'm not happy. And also, I'm going to live authentically to myself. And I decided to really pursue moving abroad and trying to find resources as a blind person. Oh, goodness, girl. When I tell you, the US is still dining out on the Americans with Disabilities Act, which was a great thing. Don't get me wrong. And they are like, we were the first to make disability legislation in the world, blah, blah, blah. But they only did that in 1990. Okay. Like that's relatively still new.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot of issues with that. So I say that to say this. When I was looking at countries and I was going, what's the best country for people with disabilities? It kept coming up like the US. Like that's the best game in town. And I'm like, but I'm already here. I want to leave. Like, where do I go? And so I started having to, I'm like, well, look, there are blind people all over the world. And, you know, I can go somewhere else and, you know, figure it out just like they do. And so I started looking at different countries. Like I said, it was supposed to be Australia. And then I started looking into Australia more and realized we were not a match. And then I started looking at other countries and I settled on Portugal. And I looked good on paper. And then I looked into it and the visa options were something that I could actually, they were within the realm of possibility for me. And so I started focusing in on Portugal, and that's how I got to this point. There's a lot more, but that's the 10,000 foot overview.
It's just so fascinating that, you know, you can just come up with like, you know what, I want to go somewhere else because I think, like you've said, for a lot of us outside of the US, the goal is to one day come and, well, at least come and visit the United States. And it's so interesting to see someone trying to, especially when you have things like accessibility to keep in mind, and you're like, you know, I'm going to leave all this right here and I'm going to try somewhere else in the world. Like, do you not feel, I don't know, like, how do you feel about it? Do you not feel like anxious or this word I'm looking, is it anxious? Or I
Yeah.
was just going to say scared, but like, do you not feel some kind of apprehension maybe?
Oh, absolutely. I'm terrified because the US is all I've ever known.
Mm,
And I do understand that other countries are different. I know we'll talk about it in a minute, but like I did eventually go visit Portugal and I can see, there are things that I'm used to for the most part in the States, right? Curb cuts is one of those things, and stores
mhm.
that have, they have the sliding doors and walking in is a level, it's level
Mm,
ground and so on. But
yeah.
that's all public. When you go into the private uh, sphere in the US, I think
Mhm.
about housing and apartments and stuff like that. A lot of these things, they may have one or two accessible apartments in an apartment complex, but
Yeah.
most of those things are built for people, for example, who are wheelchair users, right?
Hmm.
Every house that I know of that I've ever lived in and that I've visited, they all have some sort of steps to get up and down into them. And um, if you need wheelchair accessibility or if you use a walker or something, you'll have to modify that. That's hard to
Yeah.
do here. And so they're like I said, the US loves to dine out on, oh, we're the best for accessibility. In a lot of ways, they are. In a lot of ways,
Mm,
there's a lot of improvement that needs to be made that that's not a priority here.
yeah. Yeah, that's so
So,
true. Yeah, it's true over here too.
mhm,
I think what really opened up my eyes about it a bit more though is because obviously I'm used to how the UK is, and I was born
mhm,
in Kenya, but I
mhm,
lost the majority of my eyesight when I was here. So I'm used to navigating independently as an adult here. So
right.
trying to do the same thing in Kenya was either it's impossible because I don't live there, so I don't know all the ins and outs, or
Mhm.
really everywhere was so incredibly inaccessible. But
Oh,
obviously, I know
yes.
there's some visually impaired people who live there, and I don't know how independent they are. Honestly, I haven't really known someone well enough to ask them about their lives day to day. But
Right.
just going out there in the world can be so interesting is the word I would say as a visually impaired person. Like there's so much to
So
think
true.
about. Do you
Hmm.
have like any standout moments from when you went to scout or scope out how Portugal is? Yeah, like anything that stood out.
So I will say that one of the things that I did look into was like, where does Portugal sit on the accessibility stage? I wanted to
Mm,
go to a country that was not gonna like where I could be independent, right? There are some countries where that's not really a thing or they, and so I definitely was like, how do, looking into how blind people were treated in Portugal. And
mm,
it, they also are, still growing and learning.
yeah.
As we all are. So, but I will say that for me, because I'm just blind, the walking aspect wasn't a problem. I will say, coming from the US, we don't really do cobblestones here, like especially in my state.
Mm,
Over
yeah.
there,
Mm,
cobblestones everywhere, and
mm.
they're I forget what they're called. They're Portuguese tile. Um,
Mm.
the name escapes me right now. But girl, that
We'll
stuff is
Google it and put it on the
slippery.
screen. Is it? Oh, is it
Listen,
in the buildings? Is it the one that's inside buildings, or is it
it's
like outside?
it's outside, it's on the buildings,
Ah,
it's on the ground. It's not
ah,
everywhere, but it is slippery when it's dry. I can't imagine what
oh.
it's like when it's wet. And
Hmm.
Calcerish or something like that. Uh,
Girl, I don't know. I'll just.
that's okay.
I
But
do not know
yeah,
building materials, but okay. Let's carry
neither do I.
on.
But yeah, so I was I brought a cane in my silly self. I got a cane specifically for Portugal, and I wanted one that where the joints were pretty deep, so it wouldn't just like fold on me mid step if it got caught in a cobblestone. So, but I didn't put a roller tip on it.
Ah.
Yeah, that was brilliant. So, it got stuck a lot. I got, hit in the stomach quite often.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say that everyone there was the biggest thing is going to be the language barrier, because people are like, oh, you can navigate Lisbon, especially. You can navigate Lisbon with English, and I'm here to tell you, you better learn you some Portuguese. And I've been studying, but it's not the same as when you are in a real world situation and people are talking to you at speed, which is, it's just regular speed, but to me it sounds like Mach 10, because it's like I don't know what you're saying and my anxiety's on 10,000.
Oh
and
my gosh, yeah.
I will say that what I loved about it is like they just assumed you spoke Portuguese until you asked them if they could speak English. And then they'd be like, oh, yeah, sure, I can speak English. But I am learning Portuguese because, living in Portugal, it's important to me to do my best to assimilate as much as possible and learn learn the language. So because I'm moving there, right? So and I want to make genuine connections and things like that. So I'm learning, but I would say that's probably been the biggest thing for me is like trying to navigate while I was there and not having enough Portuguese.
I mean, at least you get another language, out of it as well. Like on top of living somewhere, you're genuinely like you're what's the word, excited every morning when you wake up, like, wow, what's today gonna hold, today's adventures, and so on and so forth. So you get another language too. I've always really loved Portuguese and what's the other language, and Spanish, but I've never had the chance to, and they're quite similar in some spaces as well, but I've never had the chance to learn it properly, like in school or anything like that, or I could have done a Duolingo, to be fair.
Girl, Duolingo will lie to you. You'll think you're doing something. Goodness, Duolingo has a lot of people fooled.
Well, that's that then. I used to listen to all the reggaeton and all of that.
Girl,
to try and
me
learn
too.
Some Spanish. But I know it's not the proper Spanish, it's slang for sure, but
that's how a lot of people talk though. That's like genuine, like what I've learned is that like you can learn from a book or whatever, but really if you want to know how real actual humans talk, you gotta talk to the humans. Yeah. And one thing that is intrinsically human is art. And reggaeton is art.
Oh, yes. It is, yeah. Yeah, I probably learned a lot of Spanish from that, and also how you learn not the best words first, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's good.
Those are the ones that stick in your mind, though.
I mean, where else would you start with any language? Back on track. What was it? Okay. Like, how are you finding, or how did you find the accessibility between your hometown, or I don't know, I'm guessing you've been all over the US and Portugal, where you're going to be staying. How did you find the accessibility with what you've done so far? Like, have you been to the shops? Have you been to, I don't know, swimming? I don't know, I said swimming. Just random. But, do you know what I mean? Like, how was it in terms of accessibility?
So I will say that here, okay, this is gonna sound like a weird segue, but stay with me. I'm cooking. Okay. I swear I am.
I'm always up for a segue. Let's go. I'm ready.
So here's the thing. I dated this guy. He was from Australia and he was also blind. And
Mhm.
he used to give me such a hard time about not being independent enough in the States. And I
Mhm.
think what a lot of people don't realize is that in the US, you are very car dependent in pretty much every state. Like there are parts, there may be cities that are not car dependent, but by and large, you're very car dependent. And we have, different sometimes different bus services and things, but they'll take you like door to door. And that's not the same in every state. It's not even the same in every city in the same state.
Mhm.
So I say that to say, I don't really know. Like, it's hard to compare the accessibility. I brought him up. Sorry, I brought him up because he would talk about how he just like gallivanted all over Australia on trains and public transportation and stuff. And I'm like,
Mm.
that's not we don't have a robust public transportation system in the States. um
Ah.
and so growing up in the Midwest where I am in Ohio specifically, we have city buses, but mostly you're driving, and
Yeah.
clearly I'm not. So
Yeah.
when I went to Portugal, I was with two other women. So this was like a curated scouting trip. We were all from the States, and the lady who put it on, she lives in Portugal now, but she put this whole thing together, and she's very intentional about like the experiences she wants us to have. So
Mm.
there was me who was blind, and then there was this other woman who used a mobility cane. So because
Mhm.
of that, we did a lot of driving. So it's hard to understand, like to get a lot of she rented a car because the woman who curated it, she rented a
Yeah.
car and she drove us around. Um, and so we didn't, the only public transportation I took while I was there was a
Mhm.
ferry. And
Ah.
that was cool. It was very, once we figured out trying to find
Mhm.
how to get on the ferry, I had to use my little bit of Portuguese. And we were running around like chickens with our heads cut off. But, and I felt bad because the one lady that I was with
Yeah.
the only woman who, in our group who did not have a disability. And so she had to do all the singing and I had to do all the talking. So
Mm.
and so
Teamwork.
it's teamwork. And so eventually we figured out the ferry, but the ferry was accessible. It had a ramp and you just
Yeah.
walked up it. And so that was the only public transportation I got to experience while I was there. While another thing that I did though is because I know, here in the States, we call the independent, the method by which you teach blind people to be independent travelers. We call
Okay.
that orientation and mobility. What do you guys call it over in the UK?
Yeah. Same thing.
Same?
Orientation and
Okay.
mobility. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm like, those are English words. I have no clue what they're calling it in Portugal.
Oh my
So
gosh. Oh my gosh.
it's
Big words as well. Like
exactly.
not it's not cup, you know.
Exactly.
Water.
Water. It's so true.
Oh gosh.
So I was like, I know Portugal has blind people, but like, what do
Right.
they call it over there? So I used Chat GPT and I looked up organizations that have blindness services like orientation and mobility services and so on. Uh, and it gave me a couple of organizations and I reached out to them. I reached out to one while I was there. So let me tell you
Yeah.
this story. This is kind of hilarious.
Okay.
So I found their email address and I was like, okay, I'm going to ask them if I can come by for, just to ask a few questions and let them know I'm immigrating to the country within the next year and so on and so forth. So I wrote them an email and there's this really amazing translator called DeepL, and it
Oh.
can translate into a bunch of different languages, but European Portuguese is one of them. So there's also Brazilian Portuguese, but not the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I went in and I wrote the email in English, and then I translated it into European Portuguese, and I sent the
Mhm.
translation, from it, as the email. So they thought when I got, they responded back to me, and Google automatically translated it into English. And
Oh,
so I was like, so I didn't even have to
oh.
do that. So
You could have just sent it in
I
English
could
and
have
on
just
their
sent it in English and it would have
end.
translated it. I didn't know. So
Yeah.
then they were like, I told them like, hey, I'm, immigrating from the US and, within the next year. And I'm looking to find out more about, orientation mobility services and, blah, blah, blah. And so, and when they were like, oh yeah, you can come in, tomorrow. And I was like, oh, okay. And that was the email that got translated. So I just responded in
Mhm.
English, and I was like, well, if it flipped it for me, it'll do the same for them. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll be there at 12:30. So, girl,
Oh well.
what?
What's
It's
about to happen? What all is about to happen? Oh.
it started with the Uber driver, and
Mm.
I would do the same thing. Like I would write messages to Uber in DeepL, translate it into Portuguese, and then I would paste that into like for directions and stuff. And
Yeah.
so everybody, when they read this, they're thinking, oh, this person speaks Portuguese. And
Yeah.
so he's talking to me, and I'm like, oh my God, desculpa, eu não falo português. Like, I like falo English. And he's like, oh yeah, I speak English. I'm like, oh my God, thank goodness. So we get there, and we're on our way, and I was just like, listen, I have no shame. I have nothing to lose. So I'm like, hey, listen. So he's telling me, and he's like, I speak English with my boss all the time, da da da. So he's just talking, and I'm just, talking back. And then I tell him, I'm like, yeah, I'm really nervous. I've never been to this place before, and I don't speak a lot of Portuguese. And he's like, oh, don't worry. He's like, Portuguese people are really kind. And I'm like, so far they've
Mm.
been, so
Okay.
we'll
So
see.
far, yeah.
And so when we got there, I was like, do you mind taking me to the door? And, a lot of times, at least here, if you ask, they may or may not, Uber drivers may or may not take you to the door. But he was like, sure. This man parked his car when we got there, and he walked me to the building, and then
Oh,
he
that is
talked.
amazing.
He told the lady who I was there to see in Portuguese, and I was just like, so I was like, I don't think anyone would have.
You're ready. What
All
were you
right.
thinking?
I don't even remember. But what I will say is that when he walked me to the door, he told the lady, in Portuguese who I was there to see. And what I did say is like, I felt like a kid being handed off from one adult to another. I'm not going to lie. Cause I was like, oh,
Ooh, it's a fine line, isn't
it's a
it?
fine line. But in that moment, I didn't feel infantilized. I won't lie.
Okay.
So, because I was so anxious, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. And so the lady, she starts talking to me in Portuguese, and I'm just like, oh, desculpa, senora. And so she's like, is it better to speak in English? I'm like, yes. And so she was like, your email misled me. She was like, I thought you spoke Portuguese. And I was like, darn it. And it was only because I ran it through the translator. I was like, I will not do that again. At least not until I have a better command of the language. So,
yeah.
And so it was great. I met with the woman there. Am I still on?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, good.
I'm just listening without interrupting with any of my sounds. just very keenly listening.
Oh man,
I don't blame you. I've got trust issues with this internet now.
So many trust issues. So I got to meet with the woman who who basically ran that specific office, and she was saying what all they offered. And the thing is, this is what made me go, okay, I need to try harder with Portuguese, because she was like, I don't speak much English, but she still sat there and she used the English that she had to make me feel comfortable, because she was like, able to convey, that they were going through a reorg, and that they're shifting some services and the things that are usually available. She gave me other options that might be more helpful. And I'm sitting there like, if she can do all of this, she's like, I don't speak much English. I'm like, I need to work harder with my Portuguese. Like, seriously. So I was like,
that wasn't a lot.
listen. And so I was like, I'm gonna, that was very motivating, that experience.
Yeah.
And so that was fun, and like, it was a thing that I needed to do to make me feel comfortable about, okay, so I know there are services here, I know where to look, and I have a game plan of sorts for when I move here.
Yeah, I think it's super helpful. Like, one of the first things we do when we go to if we're moving rather to a new neighborhood, or if we're going somewhere new, if we have somebody with us, it's like, let's find out where everything is and how it works, and where's the shop, and where's the, I don't know, I don't go hairdressers, I do it myself, but do you know what I mean? Like, where's the practical things in life,
Right.
Like train station,
grocery stores, right? Yeah.
Right, exactly. Okay, yes, grocery store. Although nowadays, just the Deliveroos of the world will do.
Yes.
By the way, on that actually, like, what's your plan with that? Like, are you going to be going in person to the grocery store, or are you going to be doing? Do you know what delivery service are over there? Like, how is it feeling for you in terms of feeling more settled?
There are some stores that have their own grocery delivery options, but they have Uber. Was it Uber Eats? Is that Uber Eats? I think it was Uber Eats.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and they have, like, I think they have a few. I can't remember if Bolt. I can't remember, but they have a few options that I'm familiar with, or that I could figure out. So I was like, I'll do that. I used to, before, I don't want to trigger anyone, before 2020, I used to go into stores and just go to the customer service counter and ask for someone to help me go shopping.
Yeah.
But now, I won't lie, like, here we have Instacart. I don't know if that's outside of the US at all. Okay,
no,
that
I don't know that one.
answers the question.
Like, what's that Insta?
So, like, yeah, so I probably use a lot of delivery services, but I do want to be able to go to the store, because it's nothing like picking out your own produce.
Yeah.
You're like, like, why did
and you
send
pick the
me
one
this?
you prefer?
Right. Like, you gave me a potato that's hard as a rock. What am I supposed to do with this? Like,
right. Oh my gosh, it was the bananas for me last time. They sent me, like, if you're there, obviously you're going to pick the best one, but they brought me a bunch of bananas, and one of them was literally overripe. Like, it was literally squidgy. No. I was like, what? No. Why would you pick this for anybody, like, and take it to the right?
Like, I'm not making banana bread. Like,
it's not even good enough for anything. Like, why? They should be handing that to the shop and say, guys, your banana's gone off. Can you do something, instead of putting it in a box or whatever they use to go and give it to somebody who ordered food?
Exactly.
Like, gosh.
Exactly. I've had a few of those, and I'm just like, it is convenient, but you're going to pay a price, right? You're going to pay a price. And a lot of times it is like in choice. You're like, I would not have gotten this for myself if if I had gone myself, but also it's convenient. So
yeah. I didn't. My mom was like, I hope you're gonna send this back. I was like, yeah, I will. And I'm thinking all the admin of going into the app and I don't know, writing all that stuff out, and obviously they're not gonna come and pick it up, but it's just long sometimes. So I just left
It
it alone.
is. It is. Or the one when they drop your groceries off at another
Mhm.
address
Oh my
and you're
gosh.
like, where's my stuff? And they're like, it's there. I'm like, listen, I know I'm
No, it's
blind, but
not.
no, it's not. They dropped it off at my neighbor's twice.
Oh my gosh.
And that's here in the States, not Portugal. Portugal is fine. I did do
Yeah,
Uber
yeah,
Eats while I was there. And I got
yeah.
some stuff from a grocery store and I met the dude outside. I was like, listen, I'm not playing these games with anyone. I'm hungry. I want my
Mm.
stuff. So,
Or when they drop the deliveries, they like knock and put it down on the like on your doorstep and then
mhm.
leave. And you're opening the door to nobody.
No
It's like,
one.
what?
Just
Who?
like
What's happening? What? Who?
the
What is
milk
this?
knocked on
Did I
my door.
right? So, as a blind person and just, like a woman of action, what excites you the most about starting somewhere new and starting afresh and all of it? Like, what's the most exciting bit about it?
I think if I'm honest, the most exciting and terrifying part, it's both at the same time, is the reinvention
Mm,
of my life. Being intentional about the life I want to live, because I haven't been up to this point. And this is kind of the first big thing that I've done. Of course, there are, 1,000, a million, whatever, tiny steps that's gotten me to here. And I'm not like, beaten down on past me. But this is kind of like the first thing that I've done that's like super intentional that puts me in the direction of the type of life I want. And I realize the privilege in that. But also, too, it's scary and it's exciting is to like, okay, I can truly answer this calling that I've felt since I was a child, and I'm actually, doing the thing now. And it's not just a concept anymore. It's a reality, or at least it will be when I get there.
wow, that is like the epitome of, that saying, I'm scared and doing it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Just
That's me.
amazing, amazing. Oh, Michelle's that brave. Well, we did
We
it.
did
Just so
it.
you know, I'm doing a little dance. Finally, what message would you like to leave our audience with about courage, transition, and living life on your own terms?
Wow. Um, I'm gonna steal from this wonderful, amazing person that I've met named Sylvia and say that you're worth the effort. You're worth the effort of taking that chance. And I struggled with that for a very long time, right? Um, I had these dreams, but I didn't think that, I had a million and one reasons why I couldn't, shouldn't. And then finally, I just realized, you know, I had to do it uh, to honor myself. And if I can leave our audience, your audience, with one thing, it would be just to remember that you are worth the effort and to honor yourself. And if something keeps coming back to you, if something keeps nagging at you year after year, maybe it goes away, it goes dormant, but it comes back. I say explore that because that might be the thing that you in this life need to do.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. And first of all, it's our audience because we are a group hug. Like I'm always saying, we are all together. We're in this together, growing together.
They are.
But yeah, well, that was amazing. Thank you so much for coming to speak with me and us. um, yeah, like it's been an amazing bonding session. I don't even know where to begin. And that is such a beautiful message. I think your whole vibe is a beautiful message altogether.
Aw, thank you.
um, and hopefully you'll be able to come back and update us a bit on how it's going. Maybe fingers crossed I can convince you to just be popping up every now and then, like, hey. No,
I
this is my street that I'm living on.
Listen, like I said, what got me to even reach out to you, besides just watching your awesome channel, was the whole going live thing. I'm like, how did she do this? This is wild. And so, like, you're so inspirational. I know. Don't get mad at me. I don't mean it like that. I mean it in the good way.
I was like, oh, well, where are we going?
Like, hold on. But yeah, like I was like, I have to reach out to this woman because like going live blind is just that's a whole different thing. And so I'm happy that we were able to connect, and I'm grateful that you wanted to talk to me and gave me shared your space with me. I'm so grateful to be here, and I really enjoyed our conversations.
Thank you. I don't even want to end this conversation, to be fair, but we're gonna have to. Okay,
I don't want to give you any more to edit than you already have to.
I don't need. I'll just put the whole thing. I'll be like, guys, just hang out with us. Just hang out with.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, just on the last note, thank you so much. And this has been amazing, of course. And
Yes.
come back soon, okay? Come back
Yes,
soon.
ma'am. I shall.
I hope this conversation inspired you, empowered you, made you think, or just reminded you that your uniqueness is your superpower. Thank you so much for watching. That was yet another incredible guest. I learned so much. Like, honestly, I really didn't want to end that conversation. We had a real heart to heart. And thank you so much to Olivia for being a guest here. If you have any questions for her, don't be, don't hesitate. Yeah, just don't be shy. You can write down the questions in the chat. I have so many questions too. I know. She's off on an amazing journey, and yeah, we're excited to see where this goes, and hopefully you can come back and tell us how that went. Thank you so much for watching Live Out Loud, yet another episode. I can't believe we're actually doing this, guys. Thank you for all of your support with all of my little endeavors and detours and segues so far. Thank you so much for all of your support with all of my content, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Please do all the lovely stuff that super helps me out. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new. Join the community as we carry on to amplify voices, break down barriers, and remind the world there is no one right way to shine. Until next time, keep living out loud. Bye.
I think, once you get yourself all settled, we should totally just have a podcast together, just chat about any and everything.
Let's. I think
if you're gonna do podcasting again, I know you said you did before, but this time's I don't know what the phrase says, but this time's the real one. This time is listen, I don't know. It's late.
It is. It's almost tomorrow for you, darling. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's my excuse. It's okay if my brain is just not fully here yet.
Listen.
Like, when are we going to sleep? I've actually got a lot of editing to do after this for the video that's meant to go up tomorrow. I know. I keep myself busy doing so many other things, and it's like, oh my god, I need to edit. Okay.